Welcome to Colonie TV, the governmental educational channel for the town of Colonie.
Well, welcome to Getting to Know You. My name is Joe Nash. Today we're going to be hearing about a wonderful organization. Actually, I should take that back. We're going to be hearing about a really wonderful organization called Whiskers. That's how they're known, but their actual name is the Whiskers Animal Benevolent League in Albany. So welcome.
Thanks.
We have with us two of their volunteers. It's an all-volunteer organization, Cathy Dryden and Mary Lou Baker. We're going to start with Mary Lou. Last year, Whiskers had their 30th anniversary.
Correct.
Why don't you just tell us about your organization, what you guys do, and how you help the cats of the Capital District?
Okay, Whiskers was founded back in 1982 by a woman named Joan Dewar, who has since passed away. She had a antique store on Delaware Ave, and she wanted to help the homeless cats in her neighborhood. So she opened a thrift store, called it Whiskers Thrift Store, and all the proceeds that she raised from it, she used to spay, get health care, and shelter the cats in her neighborhood. And since then, it's grown into a larger organization, and we have a shelter in Albany where we house between 110 to 130 cats at a time. And our mission is to go out and help the cats of the Capital District that have nowhere else to go, the abused, the homeless. We do a lot of work with local vets and pregnant cats on the street.
I see on your website you help sick cats that maybe aren't adoptable too, besides?
Absolutely.
There's a wide range.
Our shelter has different rooms. We do even have a room for leukemia-positive cats, which it's a terminal illness, but they can live for years with proper care. We have a room for FIV cats, which the feline AIDS, and they too can live for many, many years, a normal lifespan with proper care. We also take in senior cats. We have quite a population of senior cats, and we have other cats that are just not considered readily adoptable to the public. We like to think that every cat is adoptable to some home, but in actuality, some of our cats will spend most, if not all of their life at the shelter. It's a sanctuary. But they are cared for. We have about 180 volunteers in all of our systems. And there are 2 shifts a day that come in and clean and feed and medicate the cats. They have regular vet care. We reach out to specialists in the area, and all our cats are loved to pieces by the volunteers.
And you have, I guess you should explain this term, the no-kill policy is
Absolutely.
a big part of your
That's true.
mission here.
That is. We do have a no-kill policy. We do not euthanize for behavior issues, and only in cases of extreme illness, and then it has to be brought up and voted on.
Okay.
So we can keep the cats going for a very long time. Yes.
Well, I guess I should say one of our cats we got from you guys, and so I have a very, I'm very positive about you guys. It's our cat Mo, which you were telling me that you knew before we. So Cathy, and we'll go to Cathy now, but before we talk specifically about all the things you guys do, Cathy, what is your job there?
Well, I help coordinate the foster program, which is a separate program than the shelter program.
Is that the adopting? Or?
Well, no.
I'm sorry. Explain what that.
Well, the foster program, our primary mission is to bring in pregnant cats and kittens.
Okay.
Because they don't really do as well in our no-kill shelter. I mean, the shelter is a great place, but kittens don't necessarily thrive in a shelter.
Okay.
So we have a network of foster homes who take the moms and babies in and get them healthy until they're ready to be adopted.
Okay. And how many foster parents, is that the term?
Yeah, foster parents, foster moms and dads, yes. About 20 homes, depending on the time of the year and how many animals that we have.
Okay.
And so I, along with a couple other people, help to coordinate and support those foster parents.
Oh, okay. And how long have you been involved in Whiskers?
Since 1999.
Oh, wow, okay.
I had a feral cat in my backyard who had babies, and I brought those babies in, and I was looking for an organization to help get them adopted. And we got those adopted, and then I've been fostering kittens since then.
Okay. And Mary Lou, how long have you been involved in?
About 10 years now. I became involved through a friend of mine who was a volunteer at Whiskers, and she thought that I would enjoy it, and I do enjoy it.
And one thing I'll say, it's on your website, a great website, I should say. It's a really, really good website, and you're also very active on Facebook, but you're always in need of volunteers. You just said you had 180, but you can always use many
We are
more.
always in need of volunteers, yes, and foster homes.
And foster homes, okay.
Yes.
So once the cats are in the foster home, for how long are they fostered?
Well, it really depends on what stage they are in.
okay.
So say if you do get a mom and a baby in, and babies,
Yeah.
it takes they're ready for adoption, the kittens, in about 10 to 12 weeks. We do an early spay-neuter program when they're about 8-9 weeks, 2 to 2.5 pounds. We work with a couple vets in the area who do early spay-neuter.
All right.
We won't adopt a cat out until they're spayed-neuter.
Okay.
None of the programs will because of the cat overpopulation
Yeah,
problem.
okay.
So once they've gotten all their health care, they've been fixed, then they would be put up for adoption.
Okay.
Now the moms and other adults that we have in our foster homes may take a little longer, depending on, a lot of people just want kittens to begin with. But this time of year is a great time for us to get adults adopted.
Okay. And besides, people can come down to it's on was it 310 State Street?
No, we do shelter adoptions by appointment.
Oh, by
You have
appointment.
to call our number or apply online,
Right.
and then we would contact you and make an
Okay.
appointment to
But
get it.
you can go see the kittens,
you can go
and
to
the full-grown
PetSmart.
cats up at
Yes.
PetSmart in Clifton Park. Well,
That's right.
we'll get to that. Besides the fostering, and where else do the cats come from? Just from some of them come from, you said, from abusive situations, and
Yes, they come from mostly come
Okay.
from the streets, abandoned, abused cats. We get a phone call and we
All
go
right, so-
rescue the cat. All of our cats come from the capital region. We
Okay.
take all of our cats locally.
I know on the website you can look up cats that want to be adopted. There's a little biography there of them. And some of the situations are too painful to even read about.
But their life has changed
Yes.
now.
So how does someone go about adopting a cat from Whiskers? They can come up to PetSmart. They're up there. I'll give the times people can go. It's also on the website. Tuesdays, 6 to 7:30. That's obviously is that in the evening, right? Okay. 6 to 7:30 Tuesday and Thursday. Fridays also 6 to 7:30, and on weekends Saturdays 11 to 3, and Sundays 12 to 3. You can go right into the PetSmart in the right in the Clifton Park, the big the mall up there.
Right. It's near Hannaford and
Right.
Toys R
Okay.
Us
Near the
and that.
Hannaford, and you have at one time how many would be there at once? There's like 20 or so, or does it depend?
Between 6 and 8 usually.
So
Sometimes.
you can go and look at the cats there, and like before we chose ours, we went and visited the cats many times before we were trying to decide. But so what's the process if someone wants to adopt? Because you can't just walk in and get a cat, which is
Right.
you would think that's what you'd be able to do, but you have quite the process here to make sure they're going to be
We
well
want to
taken care
make
of.
sure that the cat and the potential owner are happy with the
Okay.
situation. We want everybody to be happy and it to be a good fit. Some cats may not fit in certain situations, depending if you have dogs or children, or some cats do better in those situations than others. There's a couple of ways you can adopt. You can go online and fill out an online application. There's a link right on our webpage, and it'll
And you
take
can
right
also
to the
look through.
application. You can look at the adoptables.
I think on the adoptable section, as I looked yesterday, there was over 50 waiting. So,
Sure.
And there's, like I say, there's a picture and a little biography of.
Right, we
tells
try to give you a
about
little bit
them.
of
I
a
know.
personality, and yes. And you can go to PetSmart during our adoption clinic hours to fill out an application in person also.
Well, you can just go and look too if you want.
Anytime,
And visit.
as long as PetSmart is open, you
Yes.
can go look,
Okay.
because they're readily viewable.
And you can also, because this is from my experience, you can go have one taken out and sit with you, and you can sort of interact with the cat to make sure you see
Right.
how you might be with.
That's right. Well, you definitely want to meet the cat before
Yes.
you take him home, right? And make sure that you both get along well.
Now,
So-
and then, okay, I'm sorry. So then what's the next step?
Those are the best
Okay.
2 ways to apply to adopt.
Okay.
And
you
either way, you'll be assigned an adoption counselor. So I was your adoption
That's right,
counselor.
that's right.
That's why you got to know me
Yes,
so well.
okay.
Yeah. And so our focus is, as Mary Lou said, making sure that there's a good fit. That's really why we asked you to fill out the
Yeah.
application, and we try to come up with a few options, and you go and you can meet them. So.
Okay. Oh, very good. So, and do you both work at the PetSmart up there? I know that's where we met you, but you know, what's one of the things, you know, you've both been doing this for over 10 years, it's all volunteer. What do you think has kept you doing this for so long? You could both answer that if you...
Well, for me, it's I find it to be a great stress reducer, you know, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
There are tough times, but the good times outnumber the tough, and it's nice to see a cat that you've rescued off the streets and rehabilitated or brought back to health and socialized well, find a good home and make somebody happy, and that cat's happy and the people are happy.
Okay. And I know on your Facebook page is very active. People post
Pictures, yes.
how they're doing and all this thing. Okay.
We love to see that.
Okay.
We love to see. I don't see a picture of Mo lately
Well, I
on
think
the Facebook
we're
page.
working on that. My
Okay.
wife is on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but she's working on it. And Cathy, how did what do you think has kept you doing this for so long?
Well, prior to volunteering for Whiskers, I had done other volunteer work like literacy volunteers, and I was a big sister. But once I started working with cats and kittens, it just is, as Mary Lou said, very rewarding work. As you know, all our cats come off the streets, and you make such a difference in their lives. I mean, if we had not taken them in and taken the time to foster them and help them get adopted, then you know, a lot of them would still be living on the streets.
Yeah.
So it is very rewarding volunteer work. I mean, for if you love animals, it's very
Yes.
rewarding.
Well, like I say, some of the stories of where the cats have come from, they're totally heartbreaking. I mean, and we've all seen in the news these situations. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit now about some of the things on your website. Again, a really great website. There's all kinds of stuff on here. One of the things I already mentioned, you can you click on the adoptables, you can see who's waiting to be adopted, you can read all about them. There's also a thing you can click on today at PetSmart. These are the ones who
Who are there right
are
now.
there, right, if you want to go up there then.
Yeah.
And how long does a cat stay there, like several weeks? Or?
If they stay there 2 weeks. If they're
Okay.
not adopted in the 2 weeks, they go back to the shelter or
Okay.
back to foster care, and they'll come back up to revisit it another time. But they're still available on our website.
I know when we got our cat, we were sort of tracking him for a while to see what.
See where he was.
I don't know if people do. Most people do it that way. How do most people do that? I mean, it seemed that it took us a few weeks to decide. I don't know what.
Yeah,
Or do some people just walk in and get somebody?
Well, I think a lot of people come in the store and they're looking at the
Yeah.
cats through the glass, and sometimes the cat will touch the glass or, draws them in. So they pursue it a little further. They like to meet the cat. Some do look online and find one,
Yes,
and then
okay.
that's what's nice about having an adoption counselor assigned to you, because they know the cats and they get to know you.
Yes.
So it does help the process so that they can help you.
As I know that we had a lot of questions Cathy was
Mm-hmm.
asking us about whether we'd be fit parents. But
Well, I mean, we want to make sure everybody's
yes, that's
happy.
good. And it cost it's $75
That's
to
correct.
adopt. Okay.
And that includes we don't adopt anybody out that's not spayed or neutered and has the age-appropriate shots.
Well, one thing that was amazing to me and my wife when we adopted, when we got our the paperwork or whatever from our cat Mo, all the his vet bill. I mean, not the bill, but what the vet had done to this cat. It showed, and it was all like itemized, and it was a lot of money. Cathy, do most of the cats go through a lot of medical before they're? Most of them, do they
Yeah,
come in
no.
with a lot of problems?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, I mean, the amount that
Yeah,
was
I mean-
done to our cat before he was even adopted was amazing. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, we want our cats to be healthy when they're adopted out, and we do spend the money up front to make
Yeah.
sure that happens.
Okay.
And so, it is an expensive.
and so your whole organization depends on donations,
That's
and then
right.
they have some fundraisers.
Yeah.
Is it all? Can you talk about is it all donations? Is that all, or is there?
Oh, no, there's we do everything. We do exist on donations, but we also have the fundraisers. And on our website, you'll also see there's other ways to help us out.
Oh, okay.
There's an Amazon wish list on there. We always look for food donations, litter donations, cleaning supplies.
Okay.
We have different sections of the website where if you can, Whiskers Memories, for example,
Yes.
for a small donation, you can post a picture of your own cat, maybe that you
Okay.
lost, or in memory of your cat with a little saying
Yeah, I
you
was
want to
gonna-
put
yeah,
on there.
that was a nice section of your website.
It's beautiful.
Where people post a picture of their cat that has died, and they write a little, this very
Right.
nice part of your, and then you
Yes.
can donate. You can donate there too. Okay.
You can donate there.
All right.
We also have Sponsor a Cat, where if you can't adopt a cat yourself, but you'd like to help one of the, especially the long-term, less readily adoptable cats that we have at the shelter, the section called Sponsor a Cat has their pictures and their story,
Okay.
and you can send any kind of donation you want to help
Oh, the
sponsor
money.
that cat.
Okay, the money would go just for that.
Well, yes,
Well, okay,
in
that's what
theory.
you're saying.
And you would get a nice thank you note back with a picture of the
Alright.
cat. A lot of people do that for birthdays, Christmas gifts, things like that,
Okay.
for cat lovers.
So it sounds like there's a lot of ways that people can.
Yes, if
give
you work for the state, we're in the CFA, so that when they when they come around.
Oh,
and
once a year for
it's
the-
payroll
okay.
donation or one-time
Is it-
donation.
oh, okay.
We have books. We sell used books.
Okay.
We have magazine sales.
All right.
There's a lot of things on our website that you can help out.
And now, do the veterinarians, do they donate their time, or do you have to pay the veterinarians?
We have to pay the
But they
vets.
do give us, they give Whiskers discounts. We work with a few veterinarians in the area who will give us a discount,
Okay,
yes.
well, that's good. Like I say, they, if each bill was like the cat we adopted, that was pretty. That would come out to a lot of money.
It does. Our vet bills can sometimes reach $15,000 a month,
Oh, jeez.
depending on. For example, a few years ago, I brought a cat in that actually went into foster care with a broken leg that had been abused in a neighborhood, and that cat needed a specialist to come in and operate on its leg. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was quite expensive. Happy to report that cat is now living
Okay.
very
Oh,
happily
good.
with some people. So.
Can I just go back really quick to the wish list thing?
Mm-hmm.
On the website it says our Amazon wish list. People can donate those items if they want. Is that
They
how
can
that works?
donate those items, or they can
People
buy
can bring in
through
cat food,
Amazon.
cat litter, paper plates,
Yes.
towels, cat care, et cetera.
Yes, or they can order them through Amazon and they'll ship them to us.
Oh, okay. And it's all preset there. Where
Yes, it's all
okay.
pre-set up. Yeah.
So there's a whole list of things that people can donate to you guys.
Right.
Okay, let's see. We have and the Whiskers Memories. How did that idea come about? Because that's a very heartwarming part of your.
It's been around for a while.
Has that been-
I'm not sure.
And it was a volunteer who had that idea that it would
Okay.
be nice to do that, and
Okay.
yeah, it's been around for a couple of years
All right.
now.
Now there's also a section I saw, Lost and Found Pets, that was. It was like 14 pages long with several on a page.
Right, the public can post any lost pet or found
Okay.
pet on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, and sometimes I'm sure some of them are pretty old. They just never went back in and took them off when they found their pet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing I'm going to talk to you about now. Oh, about volunteers. It's on the webpage. People
There's
have
a
to apply.
volunteer application online.
And there's
yes.
many, many opportunities I see here. There's all kinds of
Yes.
things people can do.
Yes.
All right. Now I'm going to talk about one thing that's on your webpage, if I can find it here. And maybe you guys could both comment on this, because I think this might be something that would help people. Everyone loves kittens. Is that safe to say? But you have a thing on your webpage here called the top 10 reasons to adopt an adult cat. So I'll read some of these, and maybe you could explain. Well, first off, why do some people only want kittens?
Absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
that-
Just like some people would only want puppies. I mean,
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, why are the majority of your adoptables that are waiting, are they adult, are they kittens, are they both, or do you know the percentage?
Right now, they're adults.
They're adults.
It's not kitten season.
Okay.
It's just starting.
Okay.
Just right this month. So fortunately, mom cats don't have babies in the wintertime.
Okay.
So right now we have lots of nice adults for adoption.
Now, are adults more difficult to have someone adopt, or
Generally, I would
generally?
Well, I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
Depends on the
Depends
person.
on the person. A lot of people come to me at a clinic and say, I want a kitten because I want to make it be the way I want it to
Right.
be. I want to make it sit in my lap. I want to make it do such and such. I say, well, it's just like babies. They're born with a personality.
Yeah.
They're born with their own traits. You can't mold them to be what you want. The nice thing about an older cat is you already know the cat's
Yeah.
personality.
Okay.
And to be truthful with you, I don't usually do kittens, so I usually take older cats home from the shelter or special needs cats. I find they're much more grateful for a home. They go out of their way to try to please you.
Yeah, okay.
So I like knowing the kind of cat that I'm going to get.
Now, are you a foster? When you say you bring them home?
I'm a what they call an adult foster, a permanent foster.
Okay.
So I have a couple of cats in my home that I took home from the shelter with special needs, and they will always be my cats, but they're still
Yeah.
Whiskers
Okay.
foster cats.
Now, do you foster ever, Cathy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So-
I foster
Yeah, she does.
moms and babies, but
Okay.
I also have a couple three right now adult cats who are harder to adopt.
Oh, okay.
That's what we could say.
Well, I'll go through the top 10. If you want to comment on any of these, maybe you can say why these are good reasons to adopt an adult. Number 10 here says, older cats are calmer.
That's true.
Any,
As a rule.
okay.
There's always the exception.
And that's like you were just saying, their personalities are well developed and a good fit. So you were saying you like to know the cats.
It's true.
Okay. There are no questions as to how big they will get. That's
Depends on how much food you feed
That's
them,
true.
but yes,
Yeah.
pretty.
but they're already adult cats. They're the size they'll be. You don't have to
Yes.
worry. Okay. They are less likely to get into mischief around the house. That's probably true. I would think.
Better manners.
They need less attention than young kittens, although they can still be quite playful and very affectionate. And you were saying you find them in some ways more grateful, I guess. Is that the right?
They seem to be. I mean, they go out of their way to please
Yes.
me.
They still make strong bonds with their families.
That's absolutely true. I mean, we hear a lot, well, I want a kitten because I want it to bond with me, but older cats and adults bond just as much.
Oh, okay. Let's see. The next one here says, many don't mind if they're left alone while you're at work or school. So that must
Right?
be.
They're going to take a nap.
They'll nap all day. Cats often live for 15 or even 20 years. So if you get a cat that's 8 or 9, they still have a lot of time.
Absolutely. They're only middle-aged.
So it's not like, okay, these wonderful and loving kittens deserve a second chance, or these cats deserve a second chance.
They certainly do.
And then finally, this is the best reason, kittens aren't kittens forever. So those are the top 10 reasons to adopt an adult. Now, have I forgotten anything? Is there some things that we didn't talk about here?
I just wanted to mention a couple of our fundraisers
Oh,
that will
okay,
be
sure.
coming up. Right now, we are doing a cell phone donation type fundraiser where people can donate their old cell phones,
Okay.
and we are turning them in for to fundraise.
Can they
And-
bring them to the PetSmart?
Yes, they
Okay.
can. During our adoption clinic
Okay.
hours, we have a collection box there. That would be very helpful. Our next event is probably going to be our kitty crawl in August, which is our second one, where it's done at Cross Gates on August 10th from 12 to 3. It's like a scavenger hunt.
Okay.
You start out, you go in certain stores and get your card stamped or whatever,
Okay.
and then first guy back with all his stamps gets a prize. There's prizes and things
Okay.
like that. Our huge fundraising event comes in November every year, our Whiskers auction for the animals, which is well attended, and it's quite a
Okay.
wonderful event. We have a lot of things that businesses donate, people donate, with gift baskets, timeshares. It's a silent auction.
And where is that going?
And that's going to be at the Ramada Inn.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be November 8th.
November 8th?
Yeah, November
Okay.
8th, yes. We're planning right now a bingo night. We're not sure when it's going to be for the people that like to play bingo.
Okay.
I might give that a shot. And we're going to be doing a Yankee candle sale pretty soon, too, which we'll
Okay.
advertise on Facebook.
All right. And again, people can give money or items anytime they want, right? Was that?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
We love, yes, we accept anything. I do know that right now with kitten season coming up, we did want to put out an appeal if there's anybody that's interested in being a foster parent. We could always use more foster homes.
Okay, now we're filming this in the beginning of April, and you were saying that we're just getting into kitten season?
Just getting into kitten
Okay.
season. And so what that means in about a month or two, our
Okay.
current foster homes will be filled up.
Okay.
And we'll be looking for new foster homes. So I did want to talk a little bit about to be a foster,
Oh, sure.
if that's okay.
Sure. Just
so,
maybe what kind of people are you looking for?
well, one thing that's helpful is if you have a separate room that could be your foster room, because
Okay.
we've mentioned, we bring them in right from the streets, and most people who foster also have cats.
Yes.
So it's good to keep them separated until they've been treated for any parasites and been tested for anything that could be wrong. And plus, mom cats can be quite defensive, and so you don't want to integrate a mom who's nursing
Yes.
in with your own cats. And there's also, there's somebody who can drive around because there's vet care
Yeah.
and driving up to the adoption center. But mainly it's somebody who just really, has a big heart
Yeah.
and, wants to help take care and most importantly can let them go at the end of the process.
Have you found that that's hard with some of the foster?
Sometimes it can be hard. It's a matter, it's always hard.
Yes.
Every adoption you do is difficult for the foster parent letting them go, but you look at the big picture of if you let them go, then you can bring more in and help them.
Yes, okay. Well, like I said at the beginning, a really wonderful organization. You guys, all I've read on the website, and the process my wife and I went through to get our cat, so it was really great. It was really wonderful. You're a great organization, so hopefully people watching this will help you guys out by either donating money or becoming a foster parent.
Volunteering is
And you're on your website, it didn't say we need volunteers. I think it says something like, we are in desperate need of volunteers. So people
That's
watching,
correct.
if you want to help the Whiskers out, it's ewhiskers.com. And there's all kinds of information. It's a really great website. So Cathy, Mary Lou, thanks for coming by. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe, for having
Thank you,
us.
Joe. It was
Okay.
very nice.
And we will see you next time.